What is up, my aesthetic boys, sunflowers, what have you? It's Fresh, back with another absolute banger of a storytime video featuring television technology, Nintendo flexing, and an unexpected salesman. Wait, why'd the music stop? Isn't the first story supposed to begin on the bass drop like it does in all the other videos?
Not this one, young lad.
Okay, who's that?
'Tis I, the harbinger of discord.
Jesus Christ, is this one of those ads?
It is indeed. I'm here to announce the brand new Discord server.
Hasn't the server been around since December of 2018, like 9 months ago?
Oh, let's not get caught up in the minutia, my dear lad. The point is that there is a Discord server that you, yes you, should join. If you join in the next 10 minutes, I'll throw in a set of free knives.
Just pay separate processing and handle it. How can you even promise that? Is that legal? Why on earth would you be selling knives? You make Reddit videos.
Join the Discord now!
How do we shut this guy up? Lady and her daughter come into price match, daughter gets aggressive, confuses me, and ends up losing out on a sale. So this lady, L, and daughter, D, come up to my till saying that they're looking to price match some blinds with another store owned by our company. The thing is, obviously, we don't all share the exact same stock. For me to process an exchange, the store requires both items to be exactly the same. I try to do as much as I can for customers, anything to make their experience better and easier, and I hate how long our price match process takes. Unfortunately for them, the product they were purchasing and the products that the other store carries didn't match up. Our product was just slightly different and had a different model number. Great. Now I have to break the bad news. I tell L&D about the situation, and immediately the daughter starts getting frustrated and raising her voice at me. The lady is visibly frustrated with the situation, but is being a lot more passive-aggressive than anything else. Whatever, understandable. It's a frustrating situation, especially given that we do carry most of the same stock. The other store just doesn't carry that specific product. Daughter then says, "You know what? Never mind. Forget it." And I take that as them no longer wanting the item, so I set it off to the side and remove the blinds from their invoice. I ring up the next few items, and lo and behold, some of their items aren't coming up on sale when they should be. I talk to my supervisor, and he gives me the okay to fix it. Perfect. Except that one of the items is excluded because it's being sold at the lowest possible price we can sell it for. The daughter starts raising her voice at me again, calling the store stupid and our company f***ing ridiculous. The lady's angry at the situation as well, assures me it's not my fault, but that she also hates our store. Okay, cool. Daughter then tells me to forget the last item I scanned, but the lady interrupts to say she still wants it. They proceed to argue about it in front of me, daughter still bashing our store. Finally, we finish the transaction, they pay and grab their things. The daughter points to the blinds, telling me to hand them to her. I tell her that I thought she said never mind and that I hadn't charged them for them because I thought they had changed their mind. Daughter gets angry again, telling me that of course they want the blinds, they got them cut, so I should have known they still wanted them. I start to tell them that I can just quickly refund their other purchase and add the blinds on, but the daughter wants nothing of it, interrupting me and telling me to just ring that up and they'll pay for it and leave because they're done with this. Now, we had a sale going on where any purchase total over $100 would qualify for a 10% discount. Their first purchase was over $100, so it worked out, but their second purchase, the blinds, fell short of the minimum, meaning they didn't qualify for the discount, which would have saved them about $6. Not the biggest asshole tax, but if Dee hadn't been so snippy and rude to me and had been willing to wait an extra 3 minutes, her mom would have been $6 richer. Like I said before here, and as the top commenter on this post even points out, the purpose of an asshole tax isn't really to be an undue burden of any kind. It's about the principle of it. The basic principle of not being an asshole, and getting a bit of a hit against you for disobeying basic social norms of decency when dealing with other people. I know, sure, we've heard stories of multi-million-dollar construction losses at the hands of an asshole, but this subreddit is focused on your average, everyday assholery, which this story fits perfectly. The daughter might not remember that $6 measly price increase, but I feel like OP may just sleep a little bit better. Don't want dogs in your yard? Lose your parking spot. Whoa. Now, I may be no mathematician, but when I see an A equals B equation where A has to do with yard dogs and B involves parking availability, I really don't see the numbers adding up. Let's keep reading. Now before I start, I want you guys to know that I live in the Philippines, and most dogs in my country aren't kept inside the house, but inside cages outside of the home because my immediate family doesn't want rowdy dogs inside the house. I got 2 Belgian Malinois puppies from my aunt 2 months ago, and I love them dearly. We have a giant cage for them that 2 people can fit in and lie down in, but since their breed is very active, we made a playpen for them to run around in while I'm at work, so they're not confined to a cage. Their cage and playpen are connected with a small gate to the backyard. I always let them run around the entirety of the backyard whenever I get home to prepare their food. I always thought this was alright because they won't do much damage since it was only a few minutes a day, until I found out my uncle came home. Our lot has 4 houses and the backyard is in between the 4 houses, and my dogs just went crazy and ran to him and was being distracted because of the noise of the gate and car. He got mad at my dogs and kicked them to go back in the playpen. All the while I was fixing their food and only went to look at them when I heard the dogs crying. He put them back in the playpen, saying how much the dogs ruined his plants and ruined their laundry because I left the dogs out of their playpen, which was a lie due to the fact that they can't get out of the locked gates unless a human would open it, and it was way too high to jump. They made a giant fuss and said that my dogs got out of the house and followed a child, that the child's mother was pissed and said all these obvious lies to my aunts and uncles, trying to get them to side with my uncle that didn't like my dogs. Here's the thing, though. The playpen was an old gate that my uncle owned but gave to us to use for the playpen because they didn't have space to park their cars without ruining their gate, since they were so mad that my dogs were going to his property. It isn't his, anyway. The land he built his house in was titled to my mom, but he went and built his house there anyway. Me and my dad disassembled the playpen and moved it back and got it welded shut and can't be moved without completely ruining it. Now my uncles and aunt always fight about parking their cars and making it fit their driveway. My dogs now have the whole backyard to run in every day. I'll admit, I'm slightly confused on their description of the gate's purpose and how it prevents OP's aunt and uncle from parking both of their vehicles, but I think something may have gotten a little lost in translation. As OP said at the beginning, they're from the Philippines, and I assume English is not a first language here. I'm not sure the legal logistics that go into building a house on someone else's property, though I have to believe that some form of consent has to be involved. And uncle's property or not, why'd you have to be such a dick to a couple of dogs? What kind of messed up childhood did you live? What traumatic event did you experience that make you inclined to kick a couple of dogs playing in the yard, not actually hurting anything? Well, regardless of the uncle's unresolved canine issues, my main takeaways from this are that 1. Don't let other people build houses on your property. To think I had to spell that one out. 2. Make sure your dad is a firm welder. And 3. I just know I'm going to get some kind of flack for pronouncing the dog breed Malinois instead of Malinois or Malinese or however the heck I'm sure all of you anxious commenters are positive it should be pronounced. You can't use the company TV for your Switch. Alright, it sounds good to me. I work for a pretty well-known home improvement store, and we have a break room in the back with a TV for us to watch programs and sitcoms on our break. On this particular day, no one was using the TV. It was turned off and everyone was on their phones, so I figured that there was no harm in plugging in my Switch and sharing the fun of letting people have a go at it. While I'm watching people play, my supervisor walks in and sees the setup. She informs me that this is the company's TV, so you can't use it for personal entertainment. Big bummer, since people were having fun, but I can't lose my job, so I pack up my Switch. That day, on my way home from work, I pass by a house that has a massive honking old CRT TV out front that they're giving away for free. It's bigger than the TV that we have at my job, and it still works. The next day, I haul this massive TV out of my car and into the break room. I get a few odd looks, but I don't care. Too focused on complying with the rules. I plug this sucker into the wall right underneath our company TV, now tiny in comparison to the CRT, and hook my Switch up to it for people to play. My supervisor walks in and sees people playing on an even bigger monitor. No, I'm not using the company TV, but I am using an even bigger personal TV. People are playing the Switch and having a good time. She tries to say something about how I'm blocking the view or causing disruption in the break room, but the other TV is turned off anyways, and people are watching intensely as 2 coworkers are racing around in Mario Kart, so I don't think it was really that big of a deal. Not entirely sure if I'm going to get a strike for this or not, but it'll be worth it if I do. And I think I might be able to argue that I followed the rules. Part of me expects that this TV will mysteriously disappear and that security will have no footage of who might have taken it, which will be funny since it's so big, but It's the thought that counts. Welcome back to How to Get Reddit Karma 101. I'm Dr. Fresh, and I'll be your professor this evening. Let me break this down into the basics. Step 1. Stay true to the original meaning of your subreddit. Don't stray too far from its core audience or the upvotes won't be flowing your way. 2. Use a relatable setting. Nothing too posh, too upscale, too upper class. Keep it relatable. Manual labor, blue-collar work, or at the very least, include a boss. If you're in too much of a position of power and there isn't anyone above you, it might be hard for people to relate. 3. Throw in a little bit of nerdy goodness. Maybe a video game reference, a subreddit inside joke, I'm looking at you, Karen. Or if you really want to get spicy with it, create your entire story around a game console that half of Reddit users bought on pre-order. No, I'm not trying to say the story's fake, and, well, if it is, it's entertaining enough that I couldn't care less. All I'm trying to say is that OP is full of it when he prefaced his story by saying, "This'll probably get lost in new," and then going on to type out an absolute banger of a story that got like 16,000 upvotes. It's like saying an asshole tax isn't substantial enough. It's never about the impact with these, it's all about the context in which the story is told. Enjoy your platinum, lovely-haired pianist. You earned it. No gas? That'll be $46.80. Now, before we start this story, I need to give you guys some background so everything will make sense. To simplify the matter, I work at what's basically a boat rental place. One of our rules is that you must fill up the boat with gas before you pull in the slip again. This is very clearly stated multiple times when people sign up. Literally, everyone gets gas, and these people have used our services many times before, so they definitely knew this. And now, our cast. Me, narrator, manager, and Karen. Curtains open. And so it all started yesterday afternoon when Karen got gas. Stick with me here. And then she proceeds to go back out to play more, which will definitely burn a bunch of it. Pulling in a boat like that can potentially make the next member have to pay for something they shouldn't have to pay for. So this already is a huge dick move. At least 2 hours later. Enter Karen, stage left. Karen, trying to pull into the wrong spot to avoid getting caught or something. Manager, excuse me, may I help you? Yeah, I got gas, so I'm ready to pull in. Really? I didn't see you guys at the gas dock a minute ago. Yeah, I got gas 2 hours ago. I shouldn't have to put up with this. Yeah, but boats burn a lot of gas in 2 hours. Please refill it before you pull in. Hey, f*** you, manager, I'm pulling in. Karen did indeed pull in, and that was her final mistake. She walked down the dock like it was a fashion show catwalk with the smuggest look on her face. My manager says to me, yeah, go fill up the boat with gas. Make sure you put in every last drop you can fit. Aye, aye, Captain. I can't hear you. Aye, aye, Captain. Oh. So I filled up the tank, not to 1 click of the fueling station, but to 3, when gas almost dropped out of the top. At the first click, it was already $20, and after the third, it was completely full at $21.80. We were definitely charging her for this. However, it gets better. Our company policy puts a $25 asshole tax on the people who think they're really slick and they can get in without fueling up, making her charge a total of $46.80. I know it's a relatively small tax, but it feels so good. Curtains close. Stage freeze. Don't say stage freeze, just do it.